Continuing from the previous episode 1120. With the start of the battle, it was already night, and the bright moonlight shone on the Yinyutan, which looked quite soft. Brother Xiao Yan. As soon as Qing Wen arrived on the open space in the center of Yinyutan, he greeted Xiao Yan. Brother Qing, you are here. Seeing this, Xiao Yan naturally smiled slowly. Brother Xiao Yan is really hidden. I never imagined that the spirit beasts as powerful as the Azure Ox were bought by Brother Xiao Yan. Qing Wen said, "It's good luck. I happen to have some medicinal pills in my hand and made a deal with it." Xiao Yan naturally concealed this matter easily. After all, the flaming beast is the king of all beasts, and the less people know about it, the better. By the way, this ghost moon well. Looking at Qing Wen and the two, Xiao Yan hurriedly changed the subject. It stands to reason that ghost moon well must be full moon night to reveal its mystery. Although the moon is bright today, there is still one day left before the full moon night. The 3-jong-sized ghost moon well opened its mouth slightly after glancing at the bright moon hanging in the air. However, it's not impossible. At the next moment, Qinger smiled slightly, revealing 2 small dimples, which was quite charming. Yep, what can I do? Xiao Yan was slightly startled when he heard the words. Obviously, this ghost moon well was rumored to be false, and Xiao Yan was looking forward to taking a look. Brother, let's do it, Qinger said slightly, and, when Qing Wen heard the words, he slowly twisted his palm to accept the ring. And with Qing Wen's actions like this, a lot of silver-white light suddenly appeared on the ground standing in the center of Yinyutan. This is. Xiao Yan looked at this scene, vaguely guessed something, and said softly. Yinyutan is actually a swampy area, the surroundings are dangerous and full of poisonous waters, while the ghost moon well is above the open space in the center of Yinyutan. We don't know why there is such an open space in the center of Yinyutan. What my eldest brother is doing now is to use some special means to make Guiyuezhing resonate, so as to achieve that sunny day and full moon. Qinger explained slightly, this ghost moon well still has spirituality? Xiao Yan said in surprise when he heard this. Well, Guiyuezhing seems to have spirituality, but that spirituality is not here, but down the well. Qinger opened her mouth. So it is. Xiao Yan immediately laughed when he heard the words, but this ghost moon well. Just after Xiao Yan solved the problem of the flaming beast and the Do Chi Si, he also checked it, but he didn't find anything strange. Okay, it's almost there. Qing Wen kept twisting the ring in her hand, and then scenes of silvery white light frantically poured out. This is some moonlight smoke. Although it is not very useful, it can blind the perception of Guiyuezhing, making it mistakenly think that today is the night of the full moon. And according to the older generation of powerhouses in our Ghost King city, the mystery of this ghost moon well can only be revealed on the night of the full moon. Qing Wen slowly looked at the silver-white mist that was like smoke and said, "It turns out that there is such an effect." Xiao Yan also understood after seeing Qing's explanation. Okay, get ready. After Guiyuezhing emits a silver halo, you can look down at the mouth of the well. The mystery of Guiyuezhing is undoubtedly on display. But remember, no matter what you see, don't say anything. And there's only one incense stick. After Qing Wen finished speaking, his eyes were always on Guiyuezhing. I don't know if this legend is true. Xiao Yan helplessly shrugged and smiled, but he did as he did. And the 3 of them all stared at Guiyuezhing. At this time, Guiyuezhing well is located on the open space in the center of Yinyutan. The wellhead is about 3 feet in size. The tiny lines are quite ancient, and all of them are engraved on the edge of the wellhead. However, the silver-white mist released by Qing Wen is slowly surrounding the well. Its wellhead. Hoo hoo hoo. At the next moment, a roar of yin wind suddenly erupted from the mouth of the Guiyuezhing well, and then the silver-white mist was madly rushing towards the well empty under the gaze of the 3 of them. What's going on? Xiao Yan watched this scene and couldn't help but speak up, because he could smell a dangerous aura from the ghost moon well. Hush hush hush! When Qing Wen heard this, he hurriedly made a quiet gesture towards Xiao Yan. Hoo hoo hoo, and those huge silver-white mists were swallowed up by the ghost moon well in an instant. Successful, then. Hurry up. Seeing this, Qing Wen said to Xiao Yan, then pulled Qinger and walked straight to the well, and Xiao Yan also surrounded him. Strange, I just saw that there was no well water at the wellhead. How come after a while, there is well water, and it even spreads to the edge of the well? Xiao Yan murmured slightly in his heart. At the wellhead at this time, A pool of well water as bright as the moon filled the wellhead tightly, and through the well water in the wellhead, at a glance, I saw a beautiful full moon. A sunny day and a full moon, is it as mysterious as the legends say? Xiao Yan muttered, then he didn't dare to be distracted, and looked at the well. And as Xiao Yan watched like this, the picture in the wellhead was still calm, without any change. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. A full moon is still reflected in the wellhead, and there is nothing else. Isn't this ghost moon well broken? Xiao Yan was also depressed at this time. After all, the time for a stick of incense was about to end, but Qing'er and Qingwen saw something and were staring at the well. I originally wanted to use the mystery of this ghost moon well to predict the future, but unfortunately this thing seems useless to me after watching it for a few minutes. There was no response, and Xiao Yan also gave up. Xiao Yan believes that he is not a romantic person. He has long been content with Medusa Kalen and Zuner, but Mu Yingying has no choice but to sacrifice like this, and she will definitely give her a perfect explanation in the future, just for the future. Xiao Yan is also curious. After all, the word love is extremely elusive. After finally encountering such a mysterious thing as Ghost Moon well, naturally, I wanted to use it to find out, but unfortunately it didn't come true. Have you read it all? After a few breaths, Qing Wen was the first to break the situation and said slowly. Yes. Xiao Yan and Qing'er both agreed. However, Xiao Yan found out that since he saw Ghost Moon well, there seemed to be more things on Qing'er that he couldn't see through. Now that you're done, let's go. The real treasure is under the Ghost Moon well. After Qing Wenwen finished speaking, she jumped up and went down to the Ghost Moon well. Xiao Yan, follow. Qing'er also said something to Xiao Yan and jumped in directly. There really is something down here. And Xiao Yan watched the well water drop rapidly, and jumped into it without stopping. At this point, the three figures jumped directly into the Ghost Moon well, but in a place far away from the ghost world, a rather mysterious thing happened. Demon World. In a rather mysterious cave, a figure stared at a huge prismatic crystal mirror in front of him, and said in surprise, "There is actually someone in the ghost world that Lord Monster Emperor is looking for." Continuing from the previous episode 1121. The ghost world actually has the human being that the Lord Monster Emperor is looking for? Looking at the prismatic crystal in front of him, the figure of a man with a heavy ruler on his back was perfectly projected, and the mysterious figure in the cave couldn't help but speak. Said, his voice full of shock. The mysterious figure is like a human, with a dignified appearance. A pair of eyes shot the cold star. Lord Longling, what's going on? Hearing the shocking voice in the cave, dozens of figures outside the cave couldn't help but burst into the cave, their eyes filled with shocking eyes. Demonic. The ghost chi in the ghost world is almost black, and its attributes are mostly gloomy and weird, but the demon chi is different. The demon chi is extremely domineering and mostly green. You came just in time. The figure who was treated with respect by everyone heard the words, but nodded slowly, and a strange look flashed in his pupils. What is this? The figures who poured in were of different shapes, but they had a tiger-headed person and a wolf-headed person, which was quite peculiar. This is the human who saved the Demon Emperor. Long Lang stared at Xiao Yan's figure in the huge prism, and said quietly. The human beings who saved the Demon Emperor? Could it be that the legend is true? After the leading dragon wolf finished speaking, a bunch of monsters couldn't help but said in shock. Sacred Flame is present, Fenju is out, and the Demon Emperor is born. Longling looked at the huge prism and said word by word, with a majestic demonic energy in his voice, rising into the sky. Lord Demon Emperor is the true overlord of our demon world, and in the last battle of the Great Thousand Worlds, Lord Demon Emperor was suppressed. In the past few years, the Demon Emperor has not been here, and the demon world has long since been torn apart. The other demon beasts couldn't help but muttered. So this time, I will personally go to the ghost world to find this human. Humans who possess Sheng Yan and Fenju can definitely help the Demon Emperor escape from the seal. There was a frenzy in Long Lang's eyes, which obviously had a good relationship with the so-called Demon Emperor. Lord Dragon Wolf, it is absolutely impossible. Now that the demon world is divided into 3 parts, if you leave, I am afraid that the other 2 forces will stare at us. At that time, there will be no leaders, and the consequences will be unimaginable. One of the demon beasts couldn't help saying, Go on, I ordered all forces under the Heisha Longling to stop fighting. If the other two guys attack while I'm gone, give up the territory. Once the Demon Emperor breaks free from the seal, our demon world can be completely unified. The Ghost World, the Devil World, the Buddha World. You united the power of the three worlds to seal the Demon Emperor of the Demon World. This time the Demon Emperor is reborn. These new hatreds and old hatreds, we will count together. And the Dragon Wolf's tone became extremely angry, a trace of anger. The domineering demonic energy permeates the air, and the surrounding space feels distorted. That's it. I'm leaving. After the Dragon Wolf finished his instructions, he turned into a meteor and disappeared here. Alas, the Black Devil Dragon Wolf is still loyal to Lord Demon Emperor. However, why was the Lord Monster Emperor sealed by the powers of the three worlds of the Ghost World, the Devil World, the Buddha World, and the Three Worlds? Could it have something to do with the woman you brought back that time? Forget it, we still stick to our current territory. I hope the other two guys don't know the news of Lord Longlang's departure too soon. But the oldest monster slowly shook his head and said, and the Black Evil Dragon Wolf left the cave directly, and then came to a rather mysterious place. I saw that this mysterious place was precious and wrapped in a mysterious halo. The halo was sandwiched with black, red and gold. At the very edge, several dazzling large characters stood slowly. Demon Fate Cave Heaven. This place turned out to be the most mysterious cave in the demon world. Among the 7 realms, each realm has an extremely mysterious place. The Ghost Realm is the Ghost Cave, and this Demon Realm is the Demon Fate Cave in front of it. The Black Evil Dragon Wolf still looks like a human, but when he first came to this demonic cave, his breath converged, and then a gentle green demonic aura was released, surrounding his body, and then approached him. Sir, the Heishan Longling said respectfully as soon as he arrived at the gate of Yaoyuan Dongtian. However, the Dragon Wolf clearly saw that the cave sky was filled with eerie black energy, the golden Buddha light that purifies the world and the red demonic energy that erodes the hearts of the demon world. Although the Black Devil Dragon Wolf is tyrannical, he does not dare to rashly step into the heaven of demon fate. After all, the power of the three realms can suppress even the Demon Emperor. If he stepped into it, it would be no different from courting death. What's up with the Dragon Wolf? What's the matter? After a few minutes, a voice came from the Demon Fate Cave. That voice was quite gentle, but it had a domineering power that defied heaven and earth. Sir, the person you're looking for has appeared. Heishan Longling said respectfully, his voice filled with a hint of fiery. Heisha Longling has followed the Demon Emperor for many years, and he naturally knows the Demon Emperor's strength. If he can lift the seal, he will definitely be able to unify the demon world. What? Where is he? The originally gentle voice was shocked by the words of the Heishan Longling. He was imprisoned in the heaven of demon fate by the power of the Demon Realm, Buddha Realm and the Three Realms. He is the true overlord of the entire demon realm, the Demon Emperor. And now that the Demon Emperor heard the words, he was naturally overjoyed, because he looked like this. Life is better than death. He must break away from the seal, in order to complete some unfinished things, sir. According to the Xuantianjing just now intelligence, this human appeared in the ghost world, said the Heisha Longwolf. The holy flame is present, the burning is determined, and the Demon Emperor is born. But the guy who has Fenju can only be a human being. How could he appear in the ghost world? But the Demon Emperor who was in the cave of demon fate was hesitant. My lord, I am here to bid you farewell. This time, I will bring him back and completely lift your seal. The Heishan Longling said slowly. Longling, remember, you are the weakest among the three, but you met the other two guys, so don't be reckless. But you are a wise man. I believe you can succeed. The Demon Emperor heard the words, condensed slightly, and said softly. My subordinates know that they will not disgrace their mission. When Longling heard this, he nodded slightly. This journey to the ghost world is far away. Remember to be careful with the Master of the Soul. The Demon Emperor said in a deep voice, and then fell silent. Yeah. Long Lang heard the words, gave a big gift to the demon world, and then turned around and left. And with the departure of the Dragon Wolf, the place is also returning to calm, but a voice of resentment said slowly. What a ghost world, devil world, Buddha world. When they imprisoned me, they caused me to lose a lot of things. When I was born again, when the three worlds were destroyed. When the words fell, an air of pride that despised heaven and earth, and the world was overshadowed by it, quietly emerged. Continuing from the previous episode 1122. With the departure of the black evil dragon and wolf from the demon world, Xiao Yan and his party in the ghost world also had their adventures. Boom boom boom. Since they didn't see the mystery of the ghost moon well, Xiao Yan and his party jumped into the ghost moon well. Obviously, there are more important treasures below. What Xiao Yan didn't know was that this ghost moon well was more or less related to the Xuantian realm of the demon world, and he was already being watched by the demon world. Are you alright? Qing'er couldn't help asking when she seemed to notice Xiao Yan's brief absence when she fell. It's okay, it's almost the bottom of the well. Xiao Yan shook his head and said, I didn't know what was wrong just now, but my soul power actually felt a faint green aura, and that green aura was extremely domineering, making Xiao Yan quite uncomfortable. Moreover, the depth of this ghost moon well was far beyond Xiao Yan's imagination, although there was no danger along the way. What Xiao Yan felt just now was the demon spirit of the demon world. Strange, the ghost world is so far away from the demon world. How could it be? I hope it's an illusion. And even the Lord of Soul Eater doesn't know the secret, so he can only do it. Be careful, the bottom of this well is quite mysterious. I don't know what guardian it has. In the next moment, a light of dawn slowly appeared hundreds of meters below everyone's feet, and then Qingwen said solemnly, there is another mystery in this ghost moon well. Looking at the length just now, I'm afraid this well is several thousand meters deep. Xiao Yan couldn't help but say, it's here. Qing'er let out a coquettish cry, and then the three figures fell directly to the ground. This is, so it is. As soon as he landed, Qingwen couldn't help laughing. Brother, what's wrong? And Qing'er asked suspiciously, where are you looking? Xiao Yan just glanced at him, and he knew why Qingwen smiled. Because the three of them are at the bottom of the well, and there are only two roads in the bottom of the well. The back road was completely blocked by a pool of extremely cold well water, but it seemed that the spring was located. At this time, all the spring water poured back to the spring, and the front and rear roads were revealed, and the front was a dark road. Mysterious passage, I don't know where it leads. There is a reason why we must take advantage of the full moon night. Now, Qing'er also understands that on the full moon night, the well water of this ghost moon well will fill up to the mouth of the well, and the mysterious legend of the sunny day and the full moon will appear. But after a stick of incense, the well water will pour into the ground and return to the spring like an ebb tide, thus revealing this unknown passage. It's exactly as my father said. Qingwen said with a smile. Let's go, the real treasure should be here. Xiao Yan was also a bold and careful person. Seeing that there was only one road blocked, he started walking slowly. Go. Be careful, there may be some mechanism. After all, even the people in the ghost city don't know about it. Only my father was lucky enough to come in once when he was young. Qingwen said with a smile. Yes. Xiao Yan and Qing'er both agreed. Susu. The three people's voices just moved, and suddenly this extremely dark place exudes a spooky and eerie atmosphere. The fire is coming. Seeing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but call out softly, and suddenly a bluish-yellow flame slowly beat on the palm of his hand, but with Xiao Yan's suppression, the aura of the holy flame obviously did not permeate. Crash! With the appearance of Xiao Yan's flame, the dark passage suddenly became brighter, and a trace of black gas seemed to be frightened, and he quickly fled. It seems that this kid has a lot of secrets. I still have to get into the relationship. Qingwen's eyes slowly turned, obviously not as mercenary as ordinary people. He knew that Xiao Yan was fine as a friend, but if he was an enemy, it would be quite difficult. And with the appearance of Xiao Yan's flames, the whole picture of this dark passage was immediately seen by the three of them. This passage is not straight as usual, but has a curved shape, twists and turns, and I don't know where it leads. On the walls around the passage, there are some quite exquisite carvings, which are obviously from the hands of the master, and so many exquisite carvings symbolize the extraordinary treasures here. Here, it's a bit strange. After a few minutes, Qingwen took the lead in breaking the calm, and there was a hint of worry in his eyes. Brother, what's the matter? Qing'er had been protected between Xiao Yan and Qingwen, so she didn't feel anything unusual. The terrain here is curved, it's not straight, it's a bit like a coiled dragon formation. Xiao Yan said with bright eyes. Coiling dragon formation? When Qing'er heard this, Lu's brows wrinkled, obviously not understanding what this is. The so-called coiling dragon formation is some formation used to protect treasures. If it can't be cracked, I am afraid that it will always fall into an endless cycle. Qingwen said, "Don't worry, I have a solution." Xiao Yan also laughed. As soon as the voice fell, he closed his eyes and listened, and an inscription of the core life of the stock directly surged out, frantically facing the passage in all directions. And after a few breaths, Xiao Yan opened his eyes. "Come here," Xiao Yan said, looking at the wall in front of him. Seeing this, Qinger and Qingwen said Xiao Yan so firmly, they couldn't help looking at each other. Obviously, the place this guy was talking about was a huge wall, and this wall was a real existence. "You can't go straight through here. This is just some tricks of the Panlong formation. Follow me." When Xiao Yan saw this, he also smiled slightly, then in order to dispel their concerns, he said, "Okay." Qinger and Qingwen heard the words, looked at each other slowly, and then the figures followed directly. Bang bang bang. Seeing this, Xiao Yan nodded slowly, and then did nothing, just moved and hit the wall in front of him. Peefed. With a sound, there was no embarrassing situation in his imagination, but he easily broke through the shackles of the wall, and immediately came to an unfamiliar place. Brother Xiao Yan is really amazing. After seeing that he left the Panlong formation, Qingwen smiled slowly. Here, it should be the main entrance. Xiao Yan watched the two figures slowly come to a huge copper door dozens of meters in front of the three. Standing in front of the three of them, was a huge bronze gate that was dozens of meters in size. Above the bronze gate, a barren aura slowly permeated. "Let's be a little more cautious," Qingwen couldn't help saying as he watched Xiao Yan go towards the giant bronze gate. "It's alright, trust me," Xiao Yan said confidently, because Xiao Yan had already probed it just now, and the soul force actually passed through the giant bronze gate to capture the scene that followed. Because inside, there is a magnificent pill hall. "Brother, I believe him." When Qingwen was also afraid, Qingriu gently pulled the corner of his clothes and said, "Then let's go." Seeing this, the three of them headed towards the front in unison. Boom boom boom. As Qingwen and the two men cleared their concerns, Xiao Yan pushed his hand towards the giant bronze gate effortlessly. If you want to chat with more like-minded people, please follow Hotnet Wen or RDWW 444 inches on WeChat to chat with more book friends about your favorite books. Continuing from the previous episode 1123. And as Xiao Yan's palm did not carry any power and gently pushed it towards the bronze giant gate, the bronze giant gate seemed to have no resistance and was allowed to be easily pushed open by Xiao Yan. Boom boom boom. At the moment when the bronze giant door slowly opened, a barren aura spread out from the aura, making the three people's hearts tense. Immediately behind the giant bronze gate, a trace of light emerged. Squeak. After the giant bronze door was completely opened, the scene behind the bronze was discovered by everyone. Behind the giant bronze gate, there is also an incomparably huge space, but this space is different from ordinary spaces. There are many stoves in this space, and stone pillars also appear in it. The stone pillars seem to in light. And through such a building, one after another magnificent medicine refining cauldron stands in front of him. This is Dan Palace? Looking at this scene, even Qinger's beautiful eyes kept spinning. In the ghost world, pharmacists are rarer than in the human world, so the status of pharmacists in the ghost world is extremely high. This should be the pill palace where a certain senior refined pills. With so many stoves and medicine refining cauldrons, the level of this medicine refining master is probably not low. Qingwen was also shocked at this time, obviously frightened by this magnificent pill palace. Ordinary pharmacists have outstanding strength just by having a few cauldrons, but there are dozens of cauldrons here, not to mention some stone pillars, which is enough to show that this must be a person of the level of a pharmacy master. I'm afraid these medicine refining cauldrons are just a trick. And you see, the light emitted from the stone pillars is obviously unusual. Xiao Yan is a tyrannical alchemist after all. Just by perception, he can perceive that these alchemy cauldrons are sparse and ordinary, but they are not. It's a bit surprising to have such a large number. The light in this stone pillar. When Qingwen heard the words, he walked towards the stone pillar slightly. Those stone pillars stand at the very edge of the entire pill hall, and the stone pillars are not sealed. One by one air holes emerge, and the center of the stone pillar is the birthplace of the light source. This is a 7-treasure glazed lantern. Xiaoyan said softly. 7-treasure glazed lantern? When Qing'er and Qing Wen heard the words, they both looked at each other. Obviously this was the first time they had heard of it. The 7-treasure glazed glass lamp is something that ancient alchemists like very much. This kind of lamp will not go out for 10,000 years, and it also has a mysterious effect that can increase the chance of alchemists becoming pills. It's unknown if it's true or not. Xiaoyan said. It turns out that there is such a secret. When the two of them heard the words, Qing'er nodded. What? There are still soldiers here? And after passing through the 7-treasure glazed lanterns in these stoves, there were figures next to them, as if guarding something, guarding outside each 7-treasure glazed lantern. Qing'er couldn't help but say. Xiaoyan heard the words, and when he looked, he immediately found that these guys were no different from ordinary human beings, except that they had no life and looked like dead things, but their skin was the same as living people, which was quite strange. It is said that some ancient puppet techniques can keep the human body from being damaged forever. These guys are probably the soldiers who guard the Pill Palace. Xiaoyan looked at these puppet guards who closed their eyes and did not make any movement, and explained. It's so mysterious here. Qing'er's beautiful eyes kept turning. Apparently this place gave her an eerie feeling. 18 cauldrons surround the heart. There should be something strange here. Xiaoyan didn't hesitate too much. He turned his head and looked at the as many as 18 cauldrons neatly arranged in the pill hall, and looked at it slightly. There won't be any mechanism, right? Qing'er hurriedly said. After all, this place is quite dangerous, and no one has ever entered. I don't know, but be careful. Xiaoyan heard the words, and the dazzling soul power emerged, and he probed the space of the pill hall several times, and slowly shook his head. According to Xiaoyan's perception, there doesn't seem to be any difference in this alchemy hall, and the so-called treasures of people like Ghost King City are probably the elixirs in the medicine cauldron. Looks like I'm thinking too much. Xiaoyan said depressedly, but when he glanced at the group of stone soldiers surrounding the 7-treasure glazed lantern, he suddenly felt uncomfortable. Brother, didn't my father say that there is a treasure in the Ghost Moon well that can break through the Do Emperor and become Do Immortal, this? And Qing'er didn't pay attention for a while, and asked. My father didn't come here before, he just discovered it by accident, so it could be that my father sensed it wrong. Qing Wen also said after feeling around and not finding it. Let's see if there are still medicinal pills in this medicine refining cauldron. Xiaoyan also made up his mind, since everyone has come, he can't go back empty-handed. Although Xiaoyan has solved the Do Qi Si and can condense the Do core to advance to Do Immortal, he still lacks a boost. After all, after condensing the fighting core, a lot of power is needed to truly break through the Do Emperor, and the power of the holy flame that could have broken through the Do Emperor was absorbed by the beasts of flame. Before, Xiaoyan didn't even dare to think about it. Qing'er and Qingwen nodded slowly when they heard the words. I'll come first, Xiaoyan said in a deep voice, then a bluish-yellow flame appeared on the palm of his hand, wrapping his palm, and then walked towards the nearest cauldron beside him. Peeved. As soon as he came to the tripod, Xiaoyan found that the tripod was covered with thick dust, which was obviously a long time ago. I hope you won't let me down. Xiaoyan didn't care about this, he directly displayed his dazzling soul power, and then left in the cauldron. Peeved. After a few breaths, a rather exquisite jade bottle suddenly appeared on Xiaoyan's palm, and in the jade bottle, a longan-sized medicinal pill slowly entered the sight of the three of them. Sure enough, there is still a baby. And seeing this scene, Qing'er and Qingwen couldn't help but be overjoyed. Although this medicinal pill may seem simple and unpretentious, but what is the specific grade? You still have to open the bottle and take a sniff to find out. Xiaoyan said. Brother Xiaoyan, please. Qing Wen smiled. Yes. Xiaoyan heard the words, nodded lightly, then dragged the jade bottle with one hand, and went to the mouth of the bottle with the other, trying to open it. And at this moment, even the three of them didn't notice that the puppet guards surrounding the 7-treasure glazed lanterns suddenly became loose. Shabu shabu. Xiaoyan's palm just took off the mouth of the bottle, and the medicinal pill in the jade bottle was like ice meeting fire, and it melted in an instant. And it's not over just melting. The medicinal pills in the jade bottle fused instantly after the bottle mouth was opened, and then turned into a colorful smoke, which slowly diffused out. It was just a breath of time, and it filled the entire Dan Palace. The next moment, directly facing the puppet guards poured into the body. Not good. And Xiao Yan noticed this abnormality when he just opened the bottle, but even if Xiao Yan was quick-witted and wanted to stop it, it was too late. Squeak! As the colored smoke filled the entire pill hall, the puppet guards who looked like dead objects suddenly opened their pupils slowly under the eyes of everyone. If you want to chat with more like-minded people, please follow Hotnet Wen or RDWW 444 inches on WeChat to chat with more book friends about your favorite books. Continuing from the previous episode 1124. What the asterisk is the silver armor of this fighting fairy puppet. Not only can it weaken our attack, but it can even turn our attack into our own strength? Qing Wen was also shocked by the scene in front of him, and said slowly, "Brother, we can't attack now, otherwise it will only add irresistible pressure to Xiao Yan." Qing Erbei said with a slight movement of her lips, apparently this Do Xian puppet has just absorbed the attack of the two of them, and now her strength has been completely. It is stable in the early stage of 1-star Do Xian. If it is attacking, it will undoubtedly increase its power. Okay, we will be responsible for dealing with him. Qing Wen also knew that if they wanted to defeat this immortal puppet with the strength of the two of them, it might not be realistic, and now they can only pin their hopes on Xiao Yan. And as Qing and Qing Wen did not attack, and passively defended, Xiao Yan, who was besieged by 10 Do Emperor Peak puppets on the other side, was not very happy. I still underestimate these puppets. Xiao Yan's figure kept dodging, but the Ni Gong Wan deep inside his body was spinning at a high speed. Obviously something was brewing. However, Xiao Yan was also depressed. His body was originally quite advanced, but he was still a little embarrassed by the siege of these 10 puppets of the peak of Do Di. Originally, the Golden Demon puppet could handle it, but after the strength skyrocketed, the Golden Demon puppet might not be able to use it anymore. And I'm afraid the improvement of the Golden Demon puppet has almost reached its limit. It seems that it can't be used in the future. After all, it can only be comparable to the mid-stage powerhouses of the 7-star Do Emperor, which is too weak. But if these guys in front of me can be subdued, I'm afraid it will be a very powerful help. Xiao Yan's figure was still constantly avoiding the attacks of 10 Do Emperor Peak puppets, he thought to himself. It is strange to say that these 10 Do Di Peak puppets seem to possess intelligence. No matter how Xiao Yan dodged, the attack was not in vain, but flashed towards his own fatal spot. Fortunately, Xiao Yan made a decisive decision and nothing happened. And for some reason, after Xiao Yan used his soul power, he suddenly felt a rather painful aura inside these guys, as if they were being controlled by someone. These puppets shot out one after another tyrannical attacks, and the terrifying Do Qi beams attacked the fast-moving Xiao Yan. Hoo, after escaping for so long, it's time for you to taste the power of the formation. Lightning Net Fire Formation. The next moment, tyrannical rays of light emerged from Xiao Yan's body, and immediately, the 10 puppets of the peak of Do Di were shrouded away. This formation was originally given to him by Zhu Jin, and extended after adding himself into the holy flame. And that fiery red formation instantly trapped the 10 puppets at the peak of Do Di, and Xiao Yan's figure jumped into it. Formation? When Qing and Qing Wen, who were constantly circling with the Do Xian puppet, saw a large scene surrounded by fiery red rays of light, they couldn't help exclaiming. In front of the two of them, the fiery red light obscured their sight, and inside was the formation that Xiao Yan had displayed. The ferocity of the formation, but they are very clear. A tyrannical formation is enough to stand up to a well-trained army, and the scrolls of the formation are almost extinct. The array of magic scrolls. It seems that this guy is really a young master from a big family who came out to experience it. Qing Wen murmured slowly in his heart. Obviously, Xiao Yan displayed a formation that trapped the peak of 10 Do Emperors, letting Qing Wen snort. A wrong judgment was made. What Qing Wen did not know was that Xiao Yan did not rely on the formation scrolls, but the formations directly activated by the core inscriptions of life, which were more powerful than the formations arranged using the formation scrolls. It seems that Brother Xiao Yan really has a solution. Brother, we're going to hold on for a while. Qing was obviously just out of the arena, and she didn't think so much about Qing's book, so she became entangled in the fighting immortal puppet in front of Du. These guys. Xiao Yan was in the sky above the lightning net fire formation. His eyes were slightly fixed on the 10 puppets, and he muttered. And these 10 puppets, even if they were temporarily trapped in the formation by Xiao Yan, did not show any panic, but between each other, a trace of silver light continued to radiate from the 10 people, and then they were connected together, followed by a burst of dazzling silver in the pupils of the 10 people. These guys are incredible. Xiao Yan was entrenched in the air. Seeing this scene, he couldn't help but say. The silver aura on the 10 puppets just now, from a certain point of view, can be said to be their life. The silver light seems to be quite mysterious, and the 10 puppets want to use this to find the enemy. Boom boom boom. Before Xiao Yan could react, the 10 puppet figures exploded and attacked Xiao Yan in midair. The strength of their attack was so strong that the half-immortal powerhouse could only temporarily dodge. It's good to come, but don't underestimate my lightning net fire formation. And Xiao Yan saw 10 Do Emperor Peak puppets attacking him, without the slightest intention of dodging, and even the breath became hot. A dazzling thunder of thunder gathered from all directions in this space. Huo Lei Wang, give me a bundle. The next moment, the power of the blue-yellow holy flame swept over Xiao Yan, and immediately in the space, there were thunder beams with a size of hundreds of feet, with overwhelming aura. It turned out to be the moment when the blue-yellow holy flame was wrapped, and it instantly turned into a huge net of fire and thunder of thousands of feet. Boom boom boom. The 10 puppets obviously did not expect that Xiao Yan and Xiao Yan's strength at the peak of the Do Di district would still fight with them recklessly. Boom boom boom. But the next moment, these 10 puppets are like the power of the chickens, and they are directly bound by the Huo Lei net. Ho ho ho. The 10 puppets were restrained by Xiao Yan's blow, and they immediately surged wildly, struggling hard, as if trying to break free. Let me help you free yourself. Seeing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help shaking his head hungry and then turned towards the 10 people bound by the Huo Lei net. With the tyranny of Huo Lei Wang, Xiao Yan has the confidence to trap these 10 Do Emperor Peak puppets for a while. After all, no matter what, the fire in Huo Lei network is also the fusion of 2 kinds of holy flames. Roar! Seeing Xiao Yan approaching, the 10 puppets let out a roar like a wild beast. You guys should also be the ones who broke into this place rashly. It's just bad luck that I followed this pharmacist's way. I'll free you now. Xiao Yan finished speaking, his eyes closed gently, and the power in his soul realm immediately emerged. Crash! With the emergence of soul power, these 10 guys suddenly quieted down, and even a satisfied smile appeared on their faces. Thanks. The next moment, the 10 puppets finally made a very vague sound, and they turned into a pile of ashes in front of Xiao Yan. It seems that this alchemist is very bad. And Xiao Yan looked at the 10 puppets that were turned to ashes in an instant, and couldn't help cursing.